So, you all head back from the barber, or from the stylist, to the library. Looking clean and new, refreshed. And having to deal with who's the deadweight and how do you fix this problem.
All right. So now that that's been taken care of.
So, Trent, I was thinking about that, and how you think that all of the four of us are dead weight. And, I had a lot of time to think about while they were working on my hair. And, I think we should each write an essay on why we are not dead weight.
Oh, that's solid. That's pretty good. That's good.
Yeah, that sounds good. The 4 dead weights, we'll turn those in.
No. You need to write one too. We just all need to write. We each need to write our justification on why we're all, each of us, not dead weight, including you.
I mean, clearly we all think we're not dead. Therefore, we'd all have to write it anyway.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
going to write a paper about fixing the dead weight, and then I'm going to write a paper about me being dead weight, and this is just going to end this. That's
In
my
fact,
plan.
we could even write just one paper on the first part being why we're not dead weight, and then the second part being what we could do to fix the dead weight.
You realize now, Trent, that she's asking you to write a 6-page paper.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of unnecessary writing.
Unnecessary.
I'm sure you have a guy for that, right?
A ghostwriter in college.
I'm assuming rich boy, maybe.
You're a rich boy.
I mean, I don't have a guy, but I should have a guy.
Yeah. Why are you doing your own work like a sucker, to quote Homer Simpson?
Yeah. So, how much do you charge?
Which one of us?
Whoever thinks they can get a better grade.
Yeah. I have to say, I think there's only one overachiever in this group.
Yeah, but I got money. Huh. I could write 3 papers. It's 3 pages each?
It's 3 pages each.
That's only 9 pages?
Yep.
Just gonna start writing.
What if I do a paper explaining that we're all dead weight? And I can fix the entire party.
By doing what?
Well, clearly by drinking smoothies.
Okay.
Well, we could each write 1 extra page.
I like
don't know
the
about
idea of
any
me
extra
writing.
pages.
I like the idea of me writing all the papers and incorporating smoothies in it because of the challenge.
Incorporate smoothies in it for the challenge.
Do it.
I will need to spend a little time talking to each one of you to figure out exactly how you're dead weight and how I can fix it. Who wants to go first? I of course will turn my critical gaze on myself. I'm not an unelfin monster. All right, the roommate. Let's go. Take out my quill, my ink pen, and pen. Where do you see yourself as dead weight?
I mean, I'm physically heavy.
Physically heavy.
I don't always have the I don't know, the nicest things to say to people, I guess. Sometimes I can come off a little gruff. I don't got those people skills.
Don't have the knack for tact.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. And what do you think? Do you think there's a party member that could improve that? Or do you think it's something you need to improve upon?
I don't know, I mean, what's her name? Niev seems like she likes people. Maybe some of that could rub off on me.
Give me about an hour to cogitate on this. And basically, I'm going to, point out that I apologize, Whitney. I forgot what your character's class is.
Magus?
But you don't know what her character's class is yet. Remember, none of you know what each
I
other's
thought we
classes
know.
are. Nope.
So,
Right now, the only thing you know magically is that it is definite that Trent is some kind of spellcaster, some kind of arcane spellcaster. It's very likely, based on appearance, that Niev and Konstag are probably druidic in nature of some sort. But with Nikolai, it's hard to tell. I mean, that physique is, definitely not spellcaster, and they wouldn't really, group 5 spellcasters
Okay, can we
together,
not
right?
judge people by their physique?
This is exactly what
That's
Erasmus would do, though. Erasmus is a coldly logical person.
I also should add that that character has clearly stated they are not a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So
what are they, then?
So what role do you see yourself in the party? What do you do?
What do I do? I mean, I'm here to develop some conflict resolution skills. I am a good fighter, but I use it judiciously, and I'm a lot smarter than I look, and people don't usually give me credit for that. I do know a lot of spells, and I'm hoping to learn some more to be able to do combat in a way that is a little less lethal, I guess.
Okay. Is Magus a commonly used term?
Magus is a term that's kind of thrown around from time to time for people. Some people might call people Maguses if they tend to play that little sword and sorcery thing.
In the Scarred Lands, they're called battle mages. Would that be the more common?
You can use that term as well. That's another term that is acceptable to be used.
So are you kind of like a battle mage?
Something like that.
Interesting.
Is this like a personality quiz? Are you gonna tell me what kind of grilled cheese I should eat at the end or something?
I could not fathom as to what people's taste in dairy products are. Eating should primarily be
non-dairy.
Primarily should be of sustenance and practical, although excellent, in good quality. But if one would choose a grilled cheese, I would go for a low melting. That way you can make it quick but flavorful. I'm not sure why you wanted this, but you did present it, so I will then oblige you. Perhaps a light cheddar. That would be my suggestion.
Nice, putting those Epicurious learnings to good use.
Nothing but Frank, baby.
I'll just need to leave this in the fridge overnight for 3 days.
I like the last video where he goes, chefs pickle things. Just get over it. I wanted to go, no, you pickle everything, bro. Interesting. Well, thank you for allowing me to interview you. All right.
No problem.
I've taken about a page of notes. All right. Who would like to be next with Dr. Erasmus's clinic? I could talk to you about spell components if that is really what you would like.
I guess I'll go.
All right. So I pick out a fresh sheet of paper, which I, definitely put in front of me, flatten out, make sure my pen is inked.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent name,
So for the record, actually, this is pretty important. Fountain pens are something that is a regular thing. So you do not need to ink your pens. You can use a standard issue fountain pen, or they even have gel roller balls if you're that kind of person.
I am that kind of person. Excellent. So, your name?
It's Niev. It's Niamh.
And thank you. And so let's just get down to brass tacks, shall we? How do you see yourself as potential dead weight in this party?
I really don't know. Like, I know nobody's perfect, but I really don't know how I could be dead weight.
Well, you're not Elven, but you seem all right.
I am an elf. Thank
are
you
you
very
an elf?
much.
Oh, I would have noticed that, right?
It's possible actually that you would not. What's your perception?
Oh yeah, no, it's really bad.
Yeah, so it's
you're an elf. Okay, we'll go with this.
because she's literally coming in here next to a hobgoblin. This could just be a hobgoblin that regularly shaves their mane and has a lighter colored skin.
Okay, all right, I'll do the whole high elf thing then, since I am a high elf. You're an elf too. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's
great.
I guess maybe, I have heard that sometimes elves get sick or something. Maybe I get sick and can't perform my druidic duties.
So, inability to be druidical due to sickness?
I don't know.
Perhaps a constitutional infirmity, if you will?
Perhaps.
Well, let's try a different tack then. What do you believe you can bring to overcome these issues of dead weight to be?
Well, of course, I have my pal Misha over here, and she's got she's petting the wolf, and the wolf kind of growls a little bit. And Misha does a lot of the fighting for me. And of course, I am learned in how to cure the wounds of others, as well as control, enemies at a distance, that sort of thing.
Sounds like a dead weight to me. Somebody who has something else fight for them.
You see wolf? Question mark. Is the wolf trained for indoors?
He's never made a mess yet.
I write down never made a mess yet.
The wolf just kind of yawns and blows some stank breath towards you.
Bad breath. Wolf needs to brush teeth. Potential deadweight wolf. For hygiene. Okay. All right. I appreciate your time in this endeavor, and I'd like to interview your sister.
And look up from my essay. You want to what?
But I'm interviewing you for the deadweight assessment.
Oh, right.
There seems to be some lack of clarity who is the deadweight, and if one of us is going to be the deadweight and we are unable to determine that, then we can by proxy logic assume we are all in one manner the deadweight.
Right. Sure.
Excellent. So,
I mean, perhaps we're all dead weight in our own ways, but we all, one person's strength is another person's weakness. Perhaps we all work together that way.
teamwork, if you will. I've heard of that. That's for people that go out and do things. Fantastic. So, but I clearly see an objective, and I'd like to strive for that and see it out to its fruition. So,
are you gonna ask me questions?
Excellent. I wasn't sure if you had come over there or still sitting there writing your essay.
No, I'm focused on you now.
Okay. So, and state your name.
My name is Comstock.
And how do you spell that? Is it with two M's?
It's K-A-N-S-T-A-G.
Fantastic. Is that like some kind of hobgoblin spelling?
Yes.
Okay, so we've all been sitting here to ascertain our level of various dead weightitude. How do you feel what do you feel you have as far as the dead weightedness of it?
I mean, I guess probably because I just said things to fight for me. I've got a lot of things that I can summon, and so like I'm not like up in the front, but I can make other people a bit stronger.
So your point is that your dead weight trait is the fact is that you require others to be efficacious, a word I love a lot.
Yeah.
Seems like it's a family trait.
Seems like it's a family trait. So, inculcated in this idea for yourself, as you see yourself as an individual in the party, your weakness is your strength?
What?
That's just the nature of druids, though. Not every druid is up front and center. A lot of druids, they get the animals to help them fight. And it's not really a weakness. It's just the nature of being a druid.
Well, we're not questioning the efficiency of druids or even the alacrity. We're getting to the heart of the matter with us as individuals. Is that not the assignment?
I guess.
So, do you feel that your vulnerability is your strength? Excellent. All right, I only fill about a half a page because that character is reticent. And then, I'm then going to spend about 2 hours carefully analyzing myself. I'll make some notes. I'll be very critical of myself, as intellectuals tend to be. Not overemphasize my abilities.
Okay.
Basically, I'll note the fact that I use very large words out of a nervous habit and things like that.
Okay.
And I'll put together a presentation. I will present my page and a half summation for each character. If they are still up when I'm done with this, because I anticipate to spend about 6-7 hours writing this, for them to look at and to offer their feedback and guidance on.
You didn't interview Trent.
Oh, I forgot, and thank you. Trent, come sit down, my friend.
I thought you were going to write this for me.
I am, but I have to talk to you.
All right.
Man. So, I know this is hard for you to imagine, Trent, being as you have so much going for you. He is so pleased with his dry sarcasm there. It is very hard not to hide the smile there. So pleased. So if you could imagine how you, Trent, would, bring some, how dare I say this, almost failing to the party, what would it be?
Oh, easily. I have trouble working when I have people being unfashionable around me. So, we got that taken care of. I'm feeling a lot better now. I was very, very sick, almost brought to throwing up at one point, but much better now.
I'm really glad that we were able to address that, that particular issue for you. Perhaps there's an area about yourself, that you would like to explore.
Oh, sure. I also don't like writing papers. I guess that could be something about me that
In short, I'm interested in doing no work whatsoever.
He's not so much concerned with the academic aspects of party dynamics and more of the field work, perhaps.
Yeah. Do you see yourself as perhaps a party leader? Wow, that was a long pause.
No, I'll let you guys be out in front.
You can hear just.
Yeah, I can call out commands from the back if that's what you guys need.
That is, I must say, the real trademarks of an effective leader.
How's your stealth?
Perhaps you see yourself as a guy hiding in the back, finding traps, and
That's how it works. Hide in the back and find traps.
I don't know. Whatever it is,
I don't do any of those things.
So I noticed you cast mage armor. What are your thoughts on the proper placement of the hands for seismatic components for magic missiles?
I mean, I don't know magic missile.
He almost faints. Oh Lord, the vapors.
No. So I more work towards hindering opponents in battle, rather than magic missile. I'm more likely to cast like an ill omen.
You mean like some kind of witch?
I cackle.
Nice.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to see what they do in second edition because I don't know. I don't know what they want with this second edition.
Yep, that's the problem I have with it too. It seems directionless at times.
It's just we're just going to recreate first edition, but with slightly different rules.
Yep, and we're going to pretend that races don't exist.
Yes, and I just don't get it. I usually don't mind a good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this one just doesn't seem to offer much. Okay, all right. Well, thank you. All right, I'm going to work on some papers.
Okay.
I think this will be a good time. I'm going to, order myself a strong tea. Do we have coffee in this world?
Yes, there is coffee in this country. Different parts of the world don't have coffee, but this one does. So, to clarify some things since it got asked earlier, and since we've gotten into some of this stuff, this is a country that has embraced some aspects of technology and has embraced some aspects of, like, arcana tech. So what you will find is that in places where technology sort of makes the cost of something diminish more rapidly, technology has kind of taken it over. So in a lot of your things that are easily done with mass production, a lot of things have like the technical end of it, the technical end result. So you have things like ink pens, you have things like paper that is like, ruled and cut in a very orderly fashion. You don't necessarily have to use parchment. Parchment is really only used as a spell component because you need that thickness of the paper that's going to interact with the like components that you kind of blend into it as you're writing the spell. But there are other things that are pretty normal. People take planes to get back and forth out of this country and go to other countries, although there aren't a lot of places that you can land planes in public spaces. So really, you can only go from here to either Kashrin or some of the other larger places via plane where it's accepted. And it's not accepted for people to really leave there. So there's not a lot of heavy traffic there. It's mostly like private planes, unless you're moving about the island that you currently the continent that you currently reside in, or Kashrin. Though really nobody goes to Kashrin. There's a few other. Go ahead.
Did I come here on a plane from Krux?
You probably would not have come here. You actually probably would have come here on a plane. You probably would have had a private chartered plane. Somebody would have been coming over from here to Krux, and then you probably would have taken the plane back as part of an arrangement. Because it's too dangerous to travel by boat the god and goddess of the sea are very fickle creatures, or very fickle deities, and sometimes even with the right sacrifices, they may still not deem it. They may still not deem your travel safe, and it also requires a lot of like expert navigation to move up the water wells that lead to the island, as this whole continent is kind of floating a few miles above the ground, or above the ocean below it. There's a few other things when it comes to long-range technology. There is a sort of in-between that has happened between magic and technology for that kind of thing, but it is still very expensive. There are pieces of glass that you can... They're basically like these weird kind of sheets of glass that look like what you might have seen in a lot of other like shows, is like what future cell phones will look like. It's just a piece of glass with like things you can interact with. However, a lot of things like a lot of more smaller end technology doesn't necessarily get allowed through. So there's a lot of limitations there. So there are things that as you go through things you'll discover are more like modern day technology and powered by modern day technology. Some things that are more magical and powered by magical technology. And then some things that are a blend of it. But I think all of you so far have kind of acknowledged you don't really come from places with a lot of the heavier technology, except maybe Erasmus, who at this point will just kind of like, you know, anytime we run into stuff like this, it'll probably be like a brush off thing, because to him it's going to be normal. To the rest of you, it's going to be a bit different than what you're used to, with some exceptions for Trent, because Trent has like encountered some of this stuff from time to time.
Okay.
So, what I need next from everybody, if anybody else has anything they want to say in this conversation, or anything else they want to convey to each other, we still have a little bit of time for that.
So, Nia would be saying, well, I think one of the big things we've learned here is that the best way to deal with the dead weight is compromise. Sometimes you have to meet their less serious needs before they can do their role or job correctly.
Embracing the trivialities?
Indeed.
Well, I'm scribbling away.
How about we just kick him out?
I don't want to risk my grade to kick him out. I feel like they stuck him in our class and we're supposed to figure something out. I just don't know what it is, other than maybe you need a good haircut every once in a while.
I would say maybe indulge them occasionally.
I think he's very used to being indulged, so I'm not sure how much that'll help.
It's either carrot or stick, I guess.
Yeah, eat the carrot, use the stick.
All right. If there's nothing that needs necessarily to go any further with this, what I want to know from everybody is I want to know what kind of paper you're going to write. And so, Charles, since you have the worst technological situation, what I need from the rest of the party is I want to know what paper you're writing. So if you do /W space GM and then space what paper you're writing, that will whisper to me what kind of paper that you're going to write. And then after that, we'll have Charles, because I think your Roll20 might blow up if you try to do this, Charles. I really am worried about that, because it acts so randomly at times. But if I can have the rest of you write to me what paper you're writing.
I was just going to turn in whatever paper I had gotten.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
All right, so then 3 of you, I need that from. Just needs to be a very brief thing. You don't have to put in a bunch of details. I'm not actually asking you to give me a 3-page paper.
No, 3-page paper, and you got to write it in 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was not smart of me to join a campaign that's about school, because I already spent enough of my life thinking about school. Rude.
Well, that just makes you better at roleplay.
Wait, when was the last time your class took you to a tailor and to a stylist?
Yeah.
When's the last time
And
that I
gave you
had to write a
massage.
paper? All the time. All the time I have to write a paper.
I'm not asking you to write a paper. I'm asking your character to write a paper and you to
Yeah.
summarize the paper.
You're making me think about writing a paper. That's almost
No, I'm
worse
asking you to
than writing the paper.
summarize what a paper you would write would be.
Yeah, that's worse.
There's really only 2 papers to turn in, right? You're either the dead weight or it's the fix the dead weight paper. Right?
Yes. Got some nice music in the background.
Thank you.
You could be using stick when carrot doesn't work.
There you go, paper written. Did you get mine, GM?
I weirdly... Oh no, I'm scrolled too far up. That's what's happening. Okay. I was wondering where they were.
So that's a yes.
Yes. Okay. So the first thing I want to know from you, Charles, is what is Trent's paper about?
Trent's paper is basically going to be from Trent's point of view that the rest of the party is deadweight, and that his elements and style of fashion will make the party superstars.
Okay.
You know, that a lot of what comes in is presentation, and what he brings is a flair for presentation, and that will lead the party to the best jobs, the best gigs, you know, that kind of thing. That's the tactic I'm going to take based on Trent's character.
Okay. And what does Erasmus turn in for himself?
So his first paper is basically discussing how Trent thinks that and how unimportant that is to a properly functioning party, and that he would have Trent focus more on his controller aspects, which he has demonstrated, and that would be it. And then I'm going to write my paper about and I forgot what was. So we're either writing about how to fix the dead weight or how we are the dead weight, correct?
No, yes, how you're not the dead weight, or how to fix the dead weight.
Okay, so I wrote so I write about how to fix the dead weight. Then I'm going to write about how I am not the dead weight, but I will acknowledge some flaws in myself and how I would like to see them fixed, and I will throw in my ideas about you know, advanced spell components, because there's just not going to be enough talk about this for my case.
Okay. So, here is the grading.
That's, by the way, how my actual college papers went, and I was told things like, please write less.
I have a question.
yes.
Real quick. Do you change the handwriting on Trent's paper versus yours, or is it pretty obvious you wrote Trent's paper?
No, I want to do a good job. So I'm
Give
gonna
me-
attempt to mimic his
Give me a
handwriting.
linguistics here.
This is so awesome. I love this a lot. I'm going to do a poor job at mimicking his handwriting.
Ooh,
Wow,
you do not.
19. I do not.
So, Trent, you get a B on your paper.
All right. Nice.
Nikolai, you get a B as well.
Wow, so
Yeah.
many B's.
Niev, you get a C. And Konstag, you get a D.
Oh, and a D. Oh.
Specifically, like the word jerk is circled several times in your paper.
Oh, that's harsh.
And Erasmus, you get an A.
Yes.
Your papers combine to form the paper that he is looking for. In every party, you are your own deadweight, as well as having another deadweight that you have to deal with.
God. I'm gonna have a dream in real life about being deadweight now, because I'm not gonna be able to stop thinking about that.
Yeah, I'd have a nightmare about getting a B, which is really dumb.
Well, because I was a gnome paladin in a party, and I was clearly the deadweight, but the rest of the party liked the character. So we used to call him. I can't remember the character's name, but it was the unconscious, and it became a running joke.
This is my first C.
Yeah, I graded this a little harshly, but I wanted to see how you guys responded to this kind of situation. And
Yeah,
I think
where was the rubric? Shouldn't you have shared that ahead of time, Professor?
no, there is no rubric shared ahead of time. What, do you want me to give you all of your answers? That's just preposterous. No one gives
No.
out answers beforehand. You find your own
Rubric
answers as a team.
Rubric just shows how you are grading, what points you are
No.
looking for.
That's giving you the answers. I told you what you needed. You needed to work together as a team to determine your deadweight and how to fix it. And you all handed me, pointing out that you felt like you knew what your deadweight needed to change, and many of you didn't even suggest the same ideas for how to fix them. In fact, one of yours specifically pointed out that your partner, your deadweight was a jerk over and over and over again. I believe it was 12 times?
13, actually.
And none of you came to realize that you are also deadweight in your party. You are all weak and understandingless. All
And
of you...
what? Understandingless?
Yes. You heard my word choice. I'm trying to use words that are simple enough that I don't have to worry you're misunderstanding me.
I mean, we all kind of came to that conclusion, but you said either or, so we did either or.
No, you did not do either or. Erasmus over there did the paper exactly the way I said.
It's a good thing he wrote
Present-
it too.
Present a paper on how to fix the deadweight, or saying that you are the deadweight. Or explaining that you're not the deadweight. He presented one paper that did both.
And also talked about the use of quality spell components.
See, the thing you're all going to have to understand is that when you encounter a situation, the two answers that you need are not going to simply present themselves in front of you, and sometimes when you do, choosing one is not the only answer, even if it looks like it's an or situation. Many parties fall victim to this. They all come to some kind of compromise where they choose one option or the other. The reality is, in every situation, an or is most likely an and you're not looking at properly. This is an important thing to know as a group. This is why compromise is so important. You cannot achieve victory if you are focused on compromising with the idea that it is either or and not potentially and. There will be plenty of opportunities for you to fix your grades. Those of you who feel bad about your B's or C's, perhaps you need to think more about maybe why you yourself might have your own dead weight to deal with. Those of you with D's, clearly you have things to work on. Maybe stop referring to your teammates so rudely. And he doesn't just look at you, Constog. He's looking at several people as he looks about the room.
So Nia would be like, maybe we should just get one person to write all of our papers from now on. We'll all be A or B students, huh?
I'm not sure how to answer that question because there's a part of me that goes, that would probably be the most practical way for the party.
You don't think I would catch on to that?
Well, it doesn't look like you did this time.
Oh, really? Very good. Erasmus, you get an F.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I was sitting here...
See what I mean? I always find out in the end. And that is where we'll break for tonight.
I'm sorry. I can't be a member of this party now. I can't be a member of this party if the party is going to be actively working against me. I'm disgusted now.
Good. Let that fuel next session.
Oh,
He's even taking off his robe,
I
Lord.
know. I'm very...
He just disrobed in front of all of us. Well, I'm streaming nonetheless.
I got clothes on.
But we will catch you all next week.
All right.
Good night, everyone. I'm just
Gotta
stopping
live
the
with
stream.
my failure thanks to another party member.
No one's bitter here. No
Good night.
one at all.